Yo, what up, man? Welcome to Hot Takes Chedda Chaz, but there's no hand holding. We do with facts and emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Shout out to Miller Lite, DraftKings, and Topo Chico. You should support them because they support us, bro. I'm so mad, furious, furious. This ain't no car show. This is totally unrelated to the Pelicans, right? I just bought this Jaguar, right? No leg room, no sound. There's nothing, just nothing but noise, nothing but noise in the car, right? I rode it around a couple times, did errands in the car. I'm just like, I waited like 2 weeks for this car. Got to send this shit right back. Got to send it right back. They give you like about 4 or 5 days to see if you like the car. You come get this bitch tomorrow. Come get it tomorrow. I don't like it at all. Heartbroken. But anyway, all right. Speaking of heartbreak, so the Pelicans this trade deadline looking like it's gonna be I don't anticipate a lot happening just because of things we kind of been hearing behind the scenes, like half-hearted efforts. Like they talked to this person about this, but they didn't really make a real offer. They may not be willing to pay the price for this. This team is asking for too much. There's different things. This has probably been one of the most quiet trade deadlines since I've been, covering the Pelicans. It's been a quiet one. I've only consistently heard DeJounte Murray and Michael. I'm talking about in the national media and behind the scenes. That's the only two names you really hear. DeJounte, Michael, and different variations, kind of that. I think one name I'm disappointed that I'm not hearing is Nick Richards from Charlotte. I think Nick Richards from Charlotte got all the potential in the world to be the future rim defender, rebounder guy for this Pelicans organization at center. I think Nick Richards got all the talent in the world. Like, as far as, he's not going to be a stretch big, but the defensive instincts, the lateral quickness, the ability to catch lobs and finish at the rim, to tear shots at the rim is there. It's definitely there for Nick Richards. And even a guy like Ish Smith, if you really, I know people like Ish Smith, yeah. If you're looking for like a professional backup point guard, Ish Smith's kind of like a guy who still has that basketball IQ. He stays gainfully employed in the NBA. That should tell you something about his prowess as a backup point guard in this league. Pelicans original. It would be a bit of a homecoming for him. I know a lot of people are not going to be excited about these names because that's just how unexciting it's been at the trade, behind the scenes trading with this team. It's been really unexciting, bro. Like, I still don't know what the Pelicans' goal is as far as like accomplishments or benchmarks. Maybe they feel like they've earned the right to see how this team looks in the playoffs, and then go evaluate from there. And I understand it from what's fair type of perspective. Like, yeah, that's fair. You haven't had these guys together. Willie Green hasn't had them. It's been one injury after another. But from a leverage perspective, with some of these guys, you're never going to have more leverage than you have now in moving them. Now, what the market is dictating, that's another thing, because I don't even know if this is it's certainly not a seller's market. So is it really a buyer's market though? Because who's for sale? Like, what could you go out there and buy? Now, that's something that could be taken.
NBA fans, the wait is over. Basketball's back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is celebrating with an unbeatable offer. New customers can score $200 instantly in bonus bets for throwing down $5 on the NBA. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. You'll start the season with an instant dub. Basketball's more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BOOT. New customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly for betting just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOT. The crown is yours.
Into consideration that may not harm the Pelicans' trade leverage as much this offseason, because make no mistake, somebody has to go this offseason. Somebody has to go this offseason. It's a matter of who, right? I'm kind of open to whoever stays or goes if I knew what the full plan was. If you're planning on blowing the team up completely and you want to move on from Zion, I get it. Makes sense. If you're planning on kind of retooling on the fly and you want to move on from Brandon, makes perfect sense. Probably makes the most sense. If you want to keep kicking the can down the road with this duo, you probably move on from CJ, which to me, that makes the least amount of sense. But I'm reaching a point of indifference for what this team wants to do, because I don't believe a championship is this team's goal, despite what David Griffin has said in the past. I think that's kind of just, for lack of a better term, lip service. But I know those names weren't very exciting, but I think Nick Richards, to me, if the Pelicans walked away from this deadline with Nick Richards and Ish Schmidt, I would be content. I would be content with that. I like Nick Richards a lot. I like his potential to grow in this organization. He's already, it's not a ton of development that needs to happen with him, because he's already like a really solid to good defensive player finishing at the rim. He's right there. Honestly, I mean, if you Charlotte, of course, Mark Williams is probably better, but it ain't like, he ain't way better than Nick Richards. So if you Charlotte, you definitely got a bit of a decision to make, because I know for sure they want to build around Melo and Brandon Miller. That means everyone else could potentially be for sale. I even like the idea of bringing a guy in like PJ Washington to replace Larry Nance. I'm a big PJ Washington fan. I think he's a really good player. One of those role players that can just come in and just change the dynamic of a game totally. And I've seen him have some really great games last year. Of course, it was a contract year, so you got to take what happens in the contract year with a grain of salt, right? But even this year, I think he's had some quality games. You got guys like Miles Bridges that seems to be on the Suns' radar. I think Dallas is interested in PJ Washington. So I don't know, man. It's just, if this seems like a weird show, it's just because behind the scenes, it's been weird, bro. Like, it's been weird. You're hearing a lot of like mixed signals, and Griff lies so much, bro. Griff, y'all don't understand how much Griff lies. Griff lies a lot. Griff lies a lot. And it's almost like the last person you talk to is what you have to believe, because that's how much he lies. That's how uninspired he seems to be this year. But y'all leave me y'all comments in the comment section. Let me know if y'all interested in Nick Richards, PJ Washington, any of those Charlotte guys. Because to me, Charlotte, Detroit, those seem like the places you can kind of go pillage. I don't believe the Pelicans are going to have a lot of luck on the buyout market, because, I mean, why wouldn't a team on a buyout market just go to a contender? Like, why wouldn't, like, let's say Alec Burks gets bought out. Why wouldn't Alec Burks just go to a contender? Why wouldn't Chris Paul just go to a contender? Why wouldn't, some of these players just go to contenders? Andre Drummond, maybe you could promise them playing time potentially. That's a real, attractive thing. But I don't know. And shit, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you feel like the Pelicans are contenders. Maybe they will have some luck in the buyout market. I just don't see it. I know they supposedly still fans of Chris Paul, but I don't know, man. I think Chris Paul's best days is I think his best days is far behind him. I would love to have that leadership and that mentality in the locker room. I don't know how much good it'll do in this locker room as currently constructed, but yeah, man, I don't know. This shit sounds kind of grim. Everything I've heard behind the scenes sound grim. Like, I ain't gonna hold you, because like it's rough. But yeah, that's been today's show, man. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't already. I'm out. Peace.